Hey Fight fans, we're here in Max Muscle, Columbia with James Binky Jones.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Oh, my pleasure. And my main guys from MMA 315.
What's going on?
We're here
MMA 315.
in the house.
That's how we do it, man. That's how we do it. We don't get a chance to have interviews all the time together with Binky Jones. It's normally over the phone. So thank you for having us.
Or my pleasure.
I'm there and you're out somewhere.
I'm there. The Bruchie.
Binky, let's talk about your last fight.
My last fight was with Jay Haas. I ended it with a rear naked choke. When we came out, he did a flying kick, and I said to myself, I need to grab him quick because I do not want to be on somebody's highlight reel getting kicked in the forehead. You know, so he came back in, and you know, I grabbed him and went down to the ground, which is my favorite place to be, and you know, we were just flowing and flowing, and you know, next thing you know, I was on his back, and I finished with a rear naked choke.
Now, I was at the fight. I saw the fight. I remember as soon as I saw the kick, I'm like, what is this? You know, it kind of took me for surprise that he tried to take you down to your comfort zone. It's like, I know I'm a BJJ practitioner, that the shark is, we're like sharks, and the ground is our ocean.
Yes.
That's where we want to be all the time, where we feel comfortable. So I was very surprised at that. Once I saw that he took his back, I knew it was game over.
Yeah, I heard John Rollo and Henry Smith in the background saying punch, punch, you know, soften them up for the choke, and that's what I started to do. And then, you know, John was yelling gable grip, and that's when I put the gable grip on, and it was over.
Soften them up! Get underneath that arm, Big! Come on, Big, get underneath there! There, Big, go, go, go! Get it underneath, Big! Pull it in, Big! Pull it in, Big!
Gable grip!
Gable grip! Gable grip! Let's go, Big! Pull it in!
Now, did you have a chance to talk to him after the fight?
Yeah, I talked to him for a few seconds, and he said to me, great fight, and that I was better than what he thought.
Now, I heard through the grapevine, tell me this wrong, he actually wanted to fight you, correct?
Yeah, he chose to fight me after he seen his teammate Jimmy had us, you know, catch me in a rear naked choke, you know, in like 28 seconds. So I guess he thought he could do the same thing, and hopefully me and Jimmy be able to fight sometime in the future.
Okay. Now talk to me about your upcoming fight.
I'll be fighting June 18th in York, PA at the Brawl in the Hall. Fighting Billy Vaughn. He's 9-7. He just fought with Strike Force on Showtime. He's a pretty well-rounded fighter. He fights for Buckeye MMA, so I'm excited about fighting him. My goal is just to go in there and beat him up. You know, hopefully in the first round or second round, but my plan is to go in there and beat him up.
Okay. Now talk to me how you're feeling. You're 41.
Yeah, I'm 41. Like I said, for this last fight, I linked up with Max Muscle, and you know the supplements that you have introduced me to has been amazing. My training has just been insane. I've been able to, like I said before, train longer and harder, and my body's just been recovering a lot faster. And it's definitely helped me with my mental game too, because knowing that you train hard and you put in the work, the mental part, I was like, my body's ready, I'm physically ready. So I know he can't beat me. You know, so when I went out to the fight, a lot of my teammates were saying, you know, usually when I come out, I always wave at the crowd and stuff, especially at Shogun since I'm in Baltimore. This time I didn't do that. You know, my whole plan was just to go out there and hurt this kid. You know, just to bring it to him. You know, I didn't even want to fight for 15 minutes. I wanted to hurt him. Okay. You know, so I came out, and you know, you see that I didn't wave this time. I did all my waving after the fight, and you know, I brung it.
There's an interesting thing you said. Dan Gable was a great wrestling coach at the University of Iowa, and he always said he was actually, I believe he lost one match in his whole career. One of the things he said that just reminded me of, whenever he stepped on the mat, he knew that he was physically, he's worked harder than any other wrestler he wrestled against. So right there, if you put in twice the amount of work as your opponent, you go in there a step ahead.
Yes.
That's like, just let the rest go. You know you've worked hard. And there's a saying that goes, when you're not training, your opponent is training. So I'm sure that's something that you put into in your
yeah, because I usually wake up at like 4:50 in the morning. I know most of my opponents don't wake up at 4:50 in the morning. And I get up at 4:50 and train, and I'm always thinking, you know, only person up at that time is my dog. He's sitting right next to me, you know, and I just put in the work. Then I'm like, I know he's not training right now, and I push it, and then I do my other workouts later in the evening when I know he's training. So I train a little bit harder then too.
There you go. The work that you put in is what you get out.
Yep.
I got a question for you, Binky. Wait before I turn to Gable. I didn't even know about the Gable.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know it. So, get one up on us on that one. The J Haas fight, thought it was a very interesting fight there. We went back and forth on the show and talked about what had happened. And it really looked like the master was teaching the student there. 20 years on him. I mean, and I think that made a part that you have to respect that. I think when he said that you were better than we thought, that was more or less a respect he had to give you to say, it's not about how old I am, it's what I know and what I can do in this ring. And it was shown there. I don't know what the hell he was thinking about that damn kick. To me, I thought when he did it, it looked like he forgot what he was supposed to do in the fight. So, when you're in the back getting ready for the fight, and now you were, because you did look more intense, and to be honest, you really looked focused, and that's really focused. And they say that fighters sometimes come out, are never 100%. How did you feel on that fight when you came out there for J Haas?
When I came out, I was ready to rock and roll, man. I mean, like I said earlier, I put in the work and I knew my body was ready. You know, and my mind, I'm always reading different books to try to take my mind to the next level. Like I read that book called The Secret. You know, I highlight different parts in the book, and every now and then I go back and just read some of the parts in the book. Before the fight, I was in the back. You know, they had the TV in the back, and we could watch some of the fights. I really don't like watching the fights because it makes me feel like I'm at home, and then I start getting real relaxed. So, you know, I just listen to some of the other fighters talk about the fights and watch them warm up, and I just somewhat stay to myself. You know, I interact with everybody, but I don't. You know, I sit back and I think about what I'm about to go out there and do. You know, like when I come back and I see the pictures of the show, I'm like, so that's what the show was like. Because I don't see the show. I'm in the back all night. You know, most of my fights I'm at the end. So I never really get a chance to enjoy seeing Michael Phelps or, you know, Joe Flacco or Ray Rice out in the audience. I miss all that, you know, and I'm glad everybody gets the chance to really meet them guys. I'm glad they come out and support Shogun. You know, but when I'm in the back, I think about what I'm about to go out there and do, represent the state of Maryland and go out there and kick some butt.
We got a little nervous. Remember, we went up to the gym the week before the fight, and you were rolling around.
Yeah.
And we were doing the interviews with everybody, and you were wincing your shoulder. We were a little nervous there when that happened to you, because when it happened, you were barely even lifting at that particular point. So from that point to the fight, you made an awful quick recovery, because I was a little worried, because you had it laying low. I mean, it was just hanging out there, and you were barely putting your shoe on.
It was my elbow. When we was training, and I got hit in it a couple of times. And, you know, it was I was like in a lot of pain, and you know, that's part of the sport. You know, you just got to work through it. We always joke around, put some tape on us, keep going. You know, so I mean, I was in a lot of pain, and I just worked through it, and it healed up before the fight. You know, the last week we don't go hard before the fight. You know, that's when you try to recover and try to heal up any bumps or bruises that you received during the training camp. And I was able to you know, heal up. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous too, because I was in a lot of pain. I was like, holy shit, you know. But it is what it is. So it's part of the sport, man.
Binky, for you, I mean, you're known as a Baltimore submission machine. You come in as Shogun, you see, it's cool. I remember watching you the first time you came down the aisle. You had your entire family with you. Talk about the support from your family, your friends, the arena crowd. How does that play with your psyche?
Did you feed off of that?
At one point, this probably be the first time I ever said this out loud. The first fight at Shogun, the first time ever here, man, when I came out with the flag and stuff, and if you go back and you look at the tape, I'm walking out and I just stopped. Dude, I heard all the people screaming and everything. I was like, holy shit. I remember coming here and seeing LL Cool J perform when I was a little kid. Now I said, all these people are here for me. And then I looked down in the cage and I saw Jason McClain walking back and forth. And I just locked in on him. And then I was able to block everybody out. And then I went out there and we fought for 15 minutes. You know, and that was an awesome fight. I'm so happy to fight in Baltimore, man. I'm glad that the sport is here. You know, and it's just, as I notice how people are just, the people are growing more and more with the sport. The other day I went to pick up my son from school and I see the little kids running around with their Shogun shirts on, and someone came to me, asked me for my autograph, and it was just, and I just looked at my son and we both smiled, and you know, I told him I would give him a picture with an autograph on it the next day, and I came up and he was like, hey, thanks Mr. Binky, and they ran away, Mr. Binky, and it was awesome, man, and I'm glad that it finally has arrived here, man. You know, before I was fighting in New Jersey and Virginia all the time, and I come home and nobody knew. You know, so now it's here.
We got Billy Vaughn coming up. This
Yes.
guy, Strike Force and other places. So he's been on the big show.
Yes.
You can say with Strike Force there, and he knows how to handle the crowds. Again, this is a new promotion that you're going to be fighting under. And if he's coming from where you said Buckeye, you're anticipating he's probably got a little bit of wrestling behind him, and he's going to want to go where you want to be.
From what I've seen on tape, you know, he likes to take guys down. He you know, throws punches. It's MMA. You know, you do everything, and like with the supplements, man, it's helping me train harder and longer. I'm just going to be in there in the best shape that I can be, and by going in and being in the best shape that I can be, I don't care where the fight goes. As long as if I'm in shape, I don't give a fuck where the fight goes. And it's on. You know, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm training just to be in the best shape, and we can stand, we can be on the ground, and it doesn't matter.
Now, before this fight, before Jay Haas's fight, were you taking other supplements prior, and then now that you're taking the new ones from Max Muscle, that you've seen a difference in yourself here? Is it more training or intensifying, or is it more focusing?
You know, I was going to GNC, you know, just the guys in the store and me just looking at the show. Oh, let me try this, try that. But since I got with Juan, he sat down and I told him what I wanted to do, and he already knew what I wanted to do, and he just came up with a plan and put the supplements in front of me. He said, try this, and it's been magic. It's been magic, man. I definitely feel younger and stronger, and definitely people understand it. It helps with the mental too. Knowing that my body's ready, my mental's like, I don't have to sit there like, oh damn, my arm's gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to bring the guns on. You know.
How did you get hooked up with Juan?
Well, he trains at the Ground Control in Owens in Columbia.
Okay.
And I train Ground Control in Baltimore, and he's good friends with Eric, and Eric was telling him about me, and then he came out to Baltimore, and I was happy to be there training. We met and we talked, and next thing you know, I was here in Columbia at Max Muscle, and it changed my whole MMA career. Yep, I'm gonna be around a little bit longer than what I thought.
That's
Well,
great.
that's great.
Nice seeing you.
Hey, you know, I want to thank you for taking the time to do this interview with us, man. And you know, you got 315 always in your corner. Good luck going up in Pennsylvania,
Yep.
and teach this other Buckeye out there what it takes to be in the ring.
Yeah, represent Maryland again, once
How
again.
you doing? Thanks, Binky.
Thank you, Binky.
No problem.